What TV show or movie is basically propaganda? How has nobody posted Battlefield Earth yet? It's straight up Scientology origin story. The Wizard. But to be fair, Super Mario Bros. 3 is the shit. Castaway. The longest FedEx commercial, and smartest, ever made. Top Gun. Not TV or movie, but Shen Yun. Mad Money. Both Top Gun films good movies but total propaganda. Reefer Madness was literally propaganda. The movie, 13. Holy fuck, did that ruin my teenage years. My mom saw it when I was about 11/12 and was convinced this was how my life would play out. She became almost hostile to me having free will because she thought I was going to start doing all the things those girls did. For reference, my biggest hobbies from ages 13 to 17 were anime, manga, The Sims, participating in the theater club at school, and playing PlayStation. That's it. I never partied, drank, or did any drugs. To this day I wonder how many other teenage girls were affected because of their parents watching this and assuming this is how they act. Titanic. It's just pure anti-iceberg propaganda. The iceberg was just minding its own business when Captain Smith just practically rams into it at full steam ahead. I have a conspiracy theory with absolutely no evidence and backing, that King Charles traded insider knowledge and/or access for a favorable portrayal on the latest season of The Crown. While I have no doubt that Diana was bit of a nutbar towards the end of their marriage. Who wouldn't be? They leaned pretty hard on the portrayal of Diana as unstable and immature. Whereas Camilla was his perfect, mature and grounded counterpart. They also really laid it on thick about his charitable contributions with the Prince's Trust. To the point of a closing card saying something to the effect of, "The Prince's Trust has donated X million pounds to charity and continues to blah blah blah." Like, why would they include that pretty irrelevant detail unless contractually obliged to make Charlie look good? Smells like a quid pro quo. IMO. Greetings from Russia. If any show is allowed to broadcasting here, it is a propaganda. Mulan. The live-action one. After I watched Taxi Driver I shot Reagan to impress Jodie Foster. Starship Troopers. It was made just to get you to join the mobile infantry. Would you like to know more? Cops was created with this intent. American Sniper. Sorry. 24. Undercover Boss. Good job you gave a sweet old lady money for her dying husband. Maybe try paying your employees a living wage. 24 was an endorsement for the military and intelligence community's war on terror and the Patriot Act. Michael Bay Transformer movies. If they were any more hardens for the US military, you'd see Bay jerking off soldiers. Top Gun Maverick is Navy propaganda. I felt like Transformers, the first 2007 film, was a propaganda for recruitment of the U.S. Army. Jack Ryan is the most blatant pro-CIA propaganda I've seen. Most, very special, sitcom episodes of the 80s and 90s were directly funded by the D and other federal agencies. Think the Pills episode of Saved by the Bell. Or the Weed episode of Home Improvement. All of the Law and Order shows are part of a long tradition in the U.S. going all the way back to *Dragnet. Of pro-cop propaganda. Rocky IV. If I'm not mistaken. The movie The Great Wall with Matt Damon and Pedro Pascal and Willem Dafoe is anti-Mongolian propaganda from China. Law and Order in general and SVU in particular. Loved that show as a teenager. Then grew up and realized it is 100% propaganda. I think some of us need to look up the definition of propaganda. Not movie or show, but the story to any of the Call of Duty games always screams propaganda to me. NCIS. They never, ever make a mistake. The suspects are always evil. The methods are always justified. And abuses are always down to a few bad apples. The technology is wonderful and there are no budgets to overrun. Fauda. American Sniper. Chris Kyle wasn't a hero. Buffy. Very anti-vampire. But then True Blood. Very pro-vampire, so it evens out. Triumph of the Will. Shark Tank. Dragon's Den. Look at these benevolent rich people, come plead to them and maybe they will lift you from the muck. For the low price of a controlling share in your business. Both Top Gun movies. It's off the air now, but 19 Kids and Counting was straight up fundamental Christian propaganda. Literally, any Hollywood movie that uses military-grade equipment in the film. In order to get access to that equipment on loan, they have to get their scripts approved by the Pentagon, which can suggest any edits they want to make the portrayal of the military more favorable. If those suggestions aren't followed, the script is rejected and the movie will not get made. 24 played a key role in convincing Americans that torture is justified. Without that show, Guantanamo and the extensive torture in Afghanistan would have been regarded very differently.